Hey guys, let's talk about compatibilities between different signs. So one of the things you have to always look at when you look at compatibility are not only looking at the sun signs, but you have to look at the sun signs, rising sign, moon sign. You also have to look at the Mars and the Venus signs. So one of the rules when you look at compatibility between two signs is that they have to be same sign or opposite signs, meaning that you can have two same sun signs and or sun sign might be the same one as a Venus, can be the same one as a moon sign. And one of the most important rules is that the most important one is that between sun and moon, if you have the opposite sign and someone with a sun sign, let's say Gemini, and the other person is opposite sign, Sagittarius, has a moon sign in Sagittarius, so it's the strongest bond and chemistry between those two. However, you have to look at the other signs, like your rising sign, moon sign, Venus. But the most important thing is to always look at the same signs and opposite signs, and the most important is like between sun and moon of two people. Those are the strongest bond that you can find in terms to compatibility. And I'm forgetting also to say that why you look at Mars is because Mars gives you that compatibility when it comes to the sexuality. And Venus, although that is referred to love, it also helps you to realize how comfortable you feel with that person. And in terms of sun sign, the rising sign, and well, the moon sign is always about the emotions, and the sun sign always has to be with, you know, the career. So if you have someone, like I just said, they have opposite signs. If someone has Gemini and sun sign, and the other person is like Sagittarius moon sign, it's a strong and powerful attraction between those two, because the person who has the moon sign in Sagittarius will support and give that emotional support to the person who has a sun sign in Gemini, and can be the opposites, same thing. So that's the strongest bond between opposite signs, between sun and moon sign. And that's it. Sun, moon sign, and rising sign has to be, especially the sun sign and the rising sign, has much to do with personality, how you guys can bond in terms of personality, and how can you get along in terms of personality. Moon sign, emotions. Venus, how comfortable you feel with the other person, how that other person makes you feel, you know, comfortable. And then the Mars is actually the, you know, like I mentioned before, it has to be with the sexuality and that sexual chemistry between both of you. Hey guys, so we're gonna talk about Gemini and Taurus compatibility. I'm a Gemini and he's a
Taurus.
So let's see how we are compatible. We friends since forever. We know each other since
1986.
1986.
It's a long time.
Long time. And we reunited last year.
Last year.
Yeah. So let's talk about how Geminis are. We're the best. Anyway, so Geminis, we are very extroverted. We flirty. We lovely. We the light of the party a bit. And immutable signs, so we have our ups, our downs. We are adaptable to the situations, not always, because, you know, Victoria's are so fixed. Anyway, are ruled by Mercury. We air signs, so we kind of like a bit cold. I would say we don't really, yeah, sure, we don't really like cuddling and stuff like that, and we can talk a lot. We're very communicative. We're not too affectionate, and we're very quick. We have a lot of ideas. We're super creative, and also have this mental expansion. We like to have a lot of great intellectual conversations. We're open-minded, but we do have shifting in our emotions, I will say. All right, so how is the compatibility with Taurus? Well, let's look at Taurus, how Taurus is. Taurus is an earth sign.
Yes.
And Taurus are very practical. Are you?
Yes.
Love food,
Oh, yes.
fine restaurants,
Yes.
and
Very laid back.
laid back. Yes.
Easy going.
They are ruled by Venus.
Venus.
They are a bit materialistic in a way because Venus has to be with pleasure and material things too, and how comfortable you are. So the house that is going to be very nice and very beautiful, right?
Yes. Maybe.
Uh,
That's what we strive for anyway.
Yeah, you always guys are striving for that. You guys are very affectionate.
Yes. We like the cuddle.
Ew. But the only thing I can say, you guys are very sensual too, and when we
Yes.
talk about the sexuality, Gemini and Taurus are very different from each other.
Yes.
Not that we haven't almost killed each other in conversations, right?
Nope. Never happened.
The thing is that Taurus is Earth, right? So they very stable. They always want that security.
Yes.
And we were just talking about this, like, the type of person you would like to date, right? We were just talking about this. And we're like,
Yes.
I want someone that could be bringing you that security. It's like a woman that will be like having this great job and whatever. Like that's what Taurus do, actually. Geminis, we like, okay, we want security because I'm a woman, so every woman wants the security. But we like mutable. We just go ups and downs, and we kind of like go this way, ups and downs, and Taurus is always like this. So you see how it cross like, it's just like, the thing with Taurus is always like they bringing the truth all the time to you, but it can be a little bit cruel for Gemini. Gemini might be like, no, I'm happy in air, right? Having all these interesting thoughts and being creative, and I'm in my la la land and whatever. And then Taurus comes like, oh, let me grab you from
Let's join me into reality, and this is how the world works.
Sure, that's what they all said.
Exactly.
So they're like, well, with Taurus, we know, we real. You guys are like in air, just like whatever, in la la land. So this one of the thing that cannot mix in between Gemini and Taurus. So what else can you think? Just go.
Hold on, a helicopter.
Just everything's happening right now.
Okay. So one thing that I also notice in my Gemini friends is that I usually make decisions and choices, whereas my Gemini friends have a problem trying to figure out what to do. So let's go out to dinner. I don't know, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that, la 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 la.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I want to mention this is like everything depends on all this stuff in your birth chart. The compatibility between Taurus and Gemini depends also in Venus sign, Mars sign, the ascendant, and by the way, you ascendant Aquarius.
Yes.
And I'm ascendant Leo. Your Venus is in Taurus. You a lot of pleasure. He's about pleasure and whatever. But the good things that I can see about Gemini and Taurus reality is like in bed probably they can be good, just because Taurus like the sensuality and explore the body and do different things. And Gemini is very active too and like to switch and do different things. So I think that can work pretty good. When it comes to emotions, we cold. Taurus toward the opposite, like they're very affectionate, we're kind of cold. So Taurus and Gemini, it's not really compatible, I would say, in a relationship. And a friendship, yes, but as I say, we can try to kill each other sometimes. So, because definitely Gemini and Taurus are very, very different. You guys are fixed, and we like to go ups and downs. You guys want security, and we just want to have fun in a way. You guys are very laid back.
Right?
We flexible, and we want freedom. And sometimes that's the thing too about Taurus. Taurus could be sometimes a bit possessive, but you said you're not like that.
Nope.
But depends because you have all this stuff. But if you want to know if you can be compatible with a Taurus, and if you're a Gemini and you're watching this, you need to look at your Venus and your Mars and kind of like check the Venus and Mars of the other person, which is a Taurus, obviously. And if they have both of you has the same sign or opposite signs, let's say you could be compatible with someone who is a moon sign Scorpio.
Yikes.
Because
Find me one of those.
why? Because all the Taurus can be very much sun sign Taurus can be compatible with a moon sign Scorpio, just for the fact like Scorpio has that intensity, and you guys can be a bit intense sometimes.
I would agree with that, yes.
Yeah. So I think there is a lot of I think Scorpio can understand emotionally what Taurus can be passing through in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you definitely a moon sign Gemini and the person is a sun sign Taurus, that's it. My moon sign is Sagittarius, so I'm up and down, just like Geminis, because that's what Sagittarius does. Emotionally, we up and down, just like Geminis. You know,
Taurus cannot stand that.
Like, of course.
Because I want a stable, happy person from 8 o'clock in the morning until we go to bed. But up and down doesn't work for a Taurus.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Exactly. That's why Gemini and Taurus cannot be such a great couple. I mean, if you make it, perfect, but I don't think so. Maybe if you have the same Venus also, it can, or if you have the same Mars, like let's say he's Mars and Leo and I'm Mars and Leo, then, but there's more like the sensual part. But if you want to look at the emotions, then you have to really look at the same signs in the moon, or the opposite sign between sun and moon, which is the strongest bond. But then...
But talk about patience.
Oh, patience. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. I don't have patience.
I do have a lot.
Taurus, believe it or not, they do have a lot of patience. And people don't understand that. Taurus, all my friends, including this one, they all have a lot of patience. They do. They can be stubborn. And Geminis can be also stubborn, so there's another thing that just go drive us away from each other. So yeah, just more negative things between Taurus and Gemini than what the positive things. We just love food. I wouldn't mind. He can cook, and I was like, yes, let's do this. That's awesome. But then after that, I don't think so. I don't like grabbing hands and all that stuff, and I'm not saying this is personal, like whatever. It's just that's how Geminis are, and I'm ascendant Leo, which I'm a fixed sign also, and still look how my sun sign Gemini can be strong. Also my moon sign in Sagittarius. So one day I love you, the other day I don't know yet. Maybe not.
The Taurus needs stability.
And Taurus is like, I love you, I love you,
Crave
I love
that.
you, I love you, I love you. Next day, I love you.
Without it, we feel insecure, and it feels like the world just rocks you from underneath. It can be problematic.
Very, for Gemini. We like freedom, and sometimes Taurus feels like they can choke a bit. Gemini. So I guess that's it. I think we did it. I think it's a wrap. Boom! It's a wrap. See you guys, and if you wanna know where your ascendant is and your moon sign and your Mars and your Venus, you can check in the description of this video. I'm gonna leave a link of astro.com, and you can just check it out and then see if you're compatible with your